our words are incredibly important. If we really truly understood how much impact they have, I'm sure we'd be a lot more careful about what we were saying. Ultimately, our words, they are a reflection of what we're feeling internally. They're a good clue as to where the mindset is at. Where have you got your mind? Where is it set? And also, what we believe and what we think. So our words can, on the reverse side, can impact. So it's a reflection of what's on the inside, but it also, what we say can influence how we feel. So it is really, really important what we speak and what we say. I know for myself, even when I was, starting out in my business and things weren't going very well, I was struggling financially. I wasn't getting very good results. I was spending a lot of time doing things and things weren't really working. When someone would ask me, how's my business going? I would say, great. Things are going good. I'm learning, I'm growing. This thing happened that was really good. I would never speak, I'm struggling, things aren't working, people are constantly standing me up, they're not answering my phone calls. I wouldn't speak any of that. I would continually speak only that which I desired to see in my business. I don't know whether the statement itself is really that good, fake it till you make it, but it was, in some ways, it's not really faking it. It's just putting your attention on and speaking only that which you desire. One of the books that Bob Proctor recommends is The Art of Acting. And there is some element of that. I started to just really change my vocabulary, change how I spoke. I wouldn't give, maybe sometimes I would to my husband. I'd have my breakdown moments with Air. He was my rock. He was the person that I could go to. And sometimes I would let it all out. And that's who I would really just be vulnerable with. But to the majority of people, pretty much anybody else, I always just only spoke and talked about that things that I desired and the vision that I had in my mind of what I was creating. And even as I spoke it, there would sometimes be a feeling of resistance, a feeling that it wasn't true, or this isn't really me. But eventually the physical did catch up. And those words that we speak, we are creating our world with that. We're creating, it's a way of affirmations. It's a way, because we learn everything through repetition. As a child, we learn from our parents, our name, and all these different kinds of things through hearing it over and over again. You hear yourself speak. It's another way to really reinforce and change paradigms and change ways of thinking, is by what do we talk? What do we say? And those words have a vibration and then a feeling behind them. So be very conscious about what you speak. So here are some words that must be eliminated from your vocabulary if you really want to see those desires manifested in your life. Number 1, want. I want to be prosperous. Want is a lack statement. Remember, you attract what you are, not what you want. So if you are in a state of wanting something, you will continue to be in a state of wanting. And wanting implies that you don't have it. So we want to get rid of want. That is, scratch that one out. And so sometimes you might feel like, well, I don't have it yet. But remember, we have to live and feel as if we already have the goal that we desire. So get rid of want. Try. I'm going to try and do that. Try is a lack statement. It has the seed of doubt that it might not work. It's so important to get into a state of it is working. It is mine. It is done. So trying, get rid of that one. Another one is hope. That's we think it's a positive word. It's like, oh, I hope that this is going to happen. All you need is hope. Hope again, there is that seed of it might not work. It again is a lack statement. That hoping that, well, I hope I'm going to be successful, or I hope this business will take off, or I hope, I'm going to find the love of my life, or whatever it is. In that, you can feel it. Like right now as I'm speaking this, right? You can sense that when you're hoping for something, there is that element of, well, it might not happen. Hopefully it'll happen, but it might not. So get rid of hope. Statements like, I'm overwhelmed. Just don't say it. Don't say it. You create more of it. If you're feeling a state of overwhelm, you're going to continue to feel it. I replaced overwhelm with overflow. I have an overflow of great things coming into my life right now. And because I was always feeling overwhelmed all the time. I was like, how am I going to get all this stuff? There's so much to do. I don't know where to start. I feel so overwhelmed. So I changed my vocabulary and the feeling followed. I don't really feel overwhelmed anymore, honestly. I don't really, even if I had to explain why I don't, there's so many things to do. But I was like, I get what I can get done, and I just don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I don't have enough time. That's another one that people say all the time. You have all the time in the world. You have just as much time as anybody else. You can create more time. This idea that time is speeding up, that there's never enough hours in the day, it's just a paradigm. You have an abundant amount of time. Change the perception, change the thinking, and the feeling and the results will change. This is a big one. The really, really big one that very few people know about is the word believe. And this is prevalent throughout the self-development industry. It is a word that even mentors and people that I follow use. And it's this idea, if you can believe it, anything that the mind can conceive and believe, I'm quoting leading thought thinkers here, anything that the mind can believe and conceive, it can achieve. You just have to believe that you can do it. It's just this idea of belief. But belief in and of itself still has the seeds of doubt planted in it. You don't believe that the sun will rise tomorrow. You know that the sun will rise tomorrow. To really just drive it home, that feeling, that vibration, you have to know it. Not believe it, you have to know it. And when you move into knowing, it's almost like a weight is lifted. You don't have to work at believing it. You don't have to convince yourself. You don't have to keep getting up every moment and every day and conjuring up that belief that you could do it. As soon as you know it, you can just get on with your day, with whatever you're doing. You know that your desire is done. You know that the goal is achieved. And anybody who teaches belief, and they say, and teaches you need to believe it in order to achieve it, they're really just repeating words that they've learned from their mentors and whatever. But when they experienced their success, if you really would ask them, they shifted into a vibration of knowing, even though they explain it as believing. They moved into knowing their success was done, was complete, was imminent, was whatever word you want to use. So get rid of belief, shift into knowing. And the other lack statements that I told you, remember, you attract what you are, what you're feeling, that's what you get. So just zone in on that and really get that and really work and be conscious and think, what am I feeling? Do I really know that I have this, that I can do this, that this is possible for me? All these different things. Do I know it, or are you still doubting it? The only thing that's stopping you from really getting what you desire is that you have that lack of knowing, and you're not feeling like, I guess, even just comfortable with it. It doesn't feel in harmony with it. You don't feel natural in the goal that you desire. So if the goal is $1 million income a year, if you still feel uncomfortable sitting and having conversations with millionaires, or in really beautiful homes, or sitting in a really nice car, if you kind of feel like, or I feel bad about wanting it, like, you're not going to attract it. It's not going to happen for you. It needs to, and you need to become comfortable in it. You need to feel, it needs to feel natural to you. The goal needs to feel it, and you need to feel like the person that is that person that has the goal, and know it, not believe it, know it. Hope that helps.